interior. Did anybody see the other pair of same side? Caitlin? You got it. So there was another C, outlining in purple right here, and in the armpits were 3 and 6. Perfect. Okay, so now alternate exterior, remember there was no trick for alternate exterior, but we know what the word means. The words mean. So we're exterior, meaning we're outside of the two lines, and alternating, when you're alternating players, aren't you switching off? So we're switching sides of the transversal. So can somebody give me one pair of alternate exterior angles? Stella. You got it, 1 and 7. Can somebody give me another pair? Noah. 2 and 8. That was it. No other pairs. How many people got both of those correct? Perfect. All right. Corresponding angles, we said look for the F. Does anybody see a pair of corresponding angles here? There's a lot of them. Jack? 2 and 6. So here's our F. It's sort of like an F doing a push-up. Right, there we go. And in the armpits are 2 and 6. Right, is there another F? Any other pairs of corresponding angles you were able to find? 5 and 1, perfect. This is an F that's laying on its back. Right here. There's more. 8 and 4, perfect. Right here. You got it. And the last one is 3 and 7. All right, so those were all the corresponding angles. Now, the last set of angles we're looking for are the alternate interior angles. For the alternate interior angles, we're looking for the Z. Can somebody give me one pair of alternate interior angles that they see? Four and 6, you got it. There's my Z. So we have angle 4 and angle 6. Any other pairs? You got it, 5 and 3. That is it. How many people got all of those correct? Okay, good. So now what we're doing is I'm telling you which angles to look at, and we have to identify them as alternate interior, alternate exterior, corresponding, same side interior, vertical angles. Remember, verticals are the kissing birds. What do supplementary angles make? 180, a straight angle, or none, meaning these have no relationship to each other. So the way we go through these problems is you're going to highlight each angle. So here it says angle 10 and angle 7. And then what you try to do is connect them through a common line or a common transversal and see if we make any kind of angle. So right there, when I highlighted angle 10 and angle 7, I've made a letter. What letter did I make? An F. So that means these are corresponding angles. Similar. More similar to tomorrow's review. This has some extra parts in it just to like recap stuff. Like that first part was a recap. All right, angle 4 and angle 7. So same idea. What are we going to do? We're going to highlight the two angles and connect them. So I highlighted 7, I highlighted 4, I connected it through a common line. We just made a letter. What letter did we make? A C. So what do we call the angles in the C? Same side interior, which we shortcut as SSI, since we don't have much space. All right. Oh, I skipped B. Let's go and outline angle 8 and angle 4. So here's angle 8. Here's angle 4. And I'm going to try to connect them. Is this a Z? No, because remember, to be in the Z, we need to be in armpits. That 8 is not in the armpit. So is this anything? This is nothing. How come this isn't alternate exterior? Good, because the 4 is not exterior. The 4 is inside. It's interior. So this can't be alternate exterior. So this is none. Or was it 8? Oh, I did 4 and 8. Sorry. Oh, no, that's letter B. I just wrote it in the wrong spot. Okay, none. B is none. Thank you. All right, let's go to D. 6 and 3. So we outline 6, we outline 3. This is a very obvious one. What is it? Birds kissing. Yep. What do we call the birds kissing? Vertical. You got it. All right, now we have 10 and 8. Here's 10. Here's 8. Connect. All right, these do not make any special kind of letter, but they are still a special kind of angle. Does anybody know what kind of angle? Well, are they interior or exterior? Yep, they're exterior and they're on different sides. So the only thing we have that doesn't make a letter isn't that alternate exterior. So that's what we look for. So here, this is going to be alternate exterior. AEA, alternate exterior. All right, angle 2 and angle 4. Angle 2, here's angle 4. It's not making a letter, but they are a special kind of angle. Anybody think they see it? Jack? They're supplementary. Don't we see that straight angle that they make together? They add to 180 together. So these are sup angles. All right. And letter G. We have angle 5 and angle 7. So here's angle 5. Here's angle 7. We connect them. I definitely see a letter. Do you guys see a letter? Yeah, what letter? A Z. What do we call the Z? AIA, alternate interior angles. You got it. We good? All right, so now we're going to step it up and make the problems a little bit harder. So not only are we now working with these angles, we're also now having to solve for x. So it says find x and y that would make the line A parallel to B. So if obviously I'm going to highlight the two expressions that we had and try to find a relationship between them. As of right now, is there a relationship between 50 and 2x plus 6? Nothing. It's not a Z because they're not in the armpits. But stay with me real closely because sometimes we're going to have to manipulate things a little bit. Do you guys see how we have this 50-degree angle here and there's a bird kissing it? Aren't these vertical angles? And what do we know about vertical angles? They have to be what? Congruent. So if this angle is 50, then the angle vertical to it, isn't it also 50? Mm-hmm. So we know that for a fact. No matter what, vertical angles are always congruent. So I'm going to put this 50 here. And now I'm going to use that 50. And now I've made a letter. What letter have I made? A C. And now we have to remember, only one of them added to 180. Was it the Z, the F, or the C that added to 180? The Z, the F, or the C? The C. The F and the Z are congruent. The C adds to 180. So the Z and the F are congruent. The C adds to 180. And so guys, next class, when you're working on the review sheet alone, review sheet number 2, I'm posting this lesson. If you forget, just go rewatch it. You hear me saying this now. So we're going to have these two angles together have to add to 180. So 2x plus 6 plus 50 equals 180. Now we solve. So I'm going to combine my like terms. So I have 2x plus 56 equals 180. I'm going to subtract that 56 on both sides. This 56 cancels, so I will have 2x is equal to, I'm going to need to borrow, so this becomes a 7, and this becomes a 10. 10 minus 6 is 4. 7 minus 5 is 2. Bring down that 1. And now we divide both sides by 2. And if you can't do this in your head, then do your long division. The 124 goes inside the house. The 2 goes outside the house. 2 doesn't go into 1, but 2 goes into 12 6 times. 6 times 2 is 12. Subtract, bring down that 4. 2 goes into 4 twice. So what do we get? X is equal to 62. It didn't ask me for anything else. It just said find X, so I found X. All right, letter B. We're going to find X and we're going to find Y. Which one do you want to find first, X or Y? X, sure. So to find X, the only number I have is this 40 right here. So I'm going to trace the X, I'm going to trace the 40. And once again, do they make anything? No. So we're going to do the same thing I just did in the last problem. What was the same thing I did in the last problem? What should I do? Stella.
You like realize that the
Good. So we realized that 40 has a vertical angle. So we put the 40 for the vertical angle, and we use that angle to make a C. And the angles in the C, do they have to be equal to each other or do they add up to 180? 180. In the C, they add up to 180. So if one armpit is 40, won't the other armpit be 180 minus 40, which is 140? So angle X is 140 degrees. Are we good so far? How did I get what? How did I get 140? Did you see how we did the vertical angle 40? Okay, so did you see the C that we highlighted? So the angles in the armpits of the C have to add up to 180. So if one angle's 40, then the other one will be 180 minus 40, which is how we got the 140. Okay, so now we want to find Y. The only expression that has Y in it is this one right here that I'm highlighting in blue. Which angle do you want to use with it? It really doesn't matter. Do you want to use the 40 that was written down? Do you want to use the 40 that we wrote down? Or do you want to use the 140? The 40 that was written down. I like that. And when we use the 40 that was written down and we outline and connect, what letter did we make? An F. Caitlin, the angles in the F, are they congruent or they add up to 180? They are congruent. But guys, that doesn't mean Y is 40. What does that mean? Y plus 20 equals 40. So we still need to solve for Y. So I subtract that 20 and I get Y is equal to 20. All right, we're getting to more difficult problems now. Letter C, X and Y. So you tell me which one do you, oh, actually we cannot find Y first. We have to find X first. So in order to find X, I have to use the two expressions that have X in it. So I'm going to outline the X plus 30 and I'm going to outline the 2X and I'm going to connect them. What letter have we made? A C. And now we have to remember, once again, the C, are they equal to each other or do they add to 180? So our equation is going to be 2X plus X plus 30 equals 180. Combine our like terms, we get 3X plus 30 equals 180. Subtract that 30. And we get 3x is equal to 150. Divide by 3. And x is equal to 50. So it says find x. We got x is 50. But now, does that mean these angles are 50? No. What's 2x? If x is 50, what's 2x? 100. What did we do? 2 times 50. And if x is 50, what's x plus 30? Jack, come on, the rest of you can add also. So if x is 50, what's x plus 30? 80. So I'm going to put in those angle measurements. So 2x is 100 and x plus 30 is 80. Everybody okay with how I got those angles? Okay, now let's look at y. What's the relationship between 2x and y? Vertical. And what do we know vertical angles are? Congruent. So what does that mean for y? It is also 100. All right. Yes. Yeah. All right. Letter D. Find x and y that would make line A parallel to line B and line C parallel to line D. Okay. So let's just mark. We want A parallel to B and we want C parallel to D. There we go. I marked it. X is an easy one. So what number am I going to use to help me find the x? The only number there. 115. So I'm going to trace the 115 and I'm going to trace the x and I'm going to connect them. And what do we know about the angles in the C? They add up to 180. So what does this mean? This means x plus 1, or sorry, can I just do 180 minus 115? So I'm going to need to borrow. 10 minus 5 is 5. 7 minus 1 is 6. 1 minus 1 is 0. So that means x is 65. Y is not so easy. Is there any line connecting 115 and y? No, so I can't use the 115. Now I can try to use the x, the 65, since there is a line connecting those. But are they any kind of angle there? No. So now we're going to have to think outside the box. It's not a direct solve problem. Last time we used vertical angles. Are there any vertical angles created here? So I can't use vertical angles. But I do see a Z with this angle here and the Y. Do you guys see that Z with that angle and the Y in the armpits? If I'm able to find this angle right here, won't Y be the same as it? Based on everything we have, I can find this angle. Does anybody know how I can find this angle? 180 minus. Good. Look, isn't this 65 and this angle, don't they make that straight angle on the bottom? So I can do 180 minus 65. So we're going to borrow. 10 minus 5 is 5. 7 minus 6 is 1. Bring down that 1. So this means this is 115 degrees, which means angle Y is 115 degrees. So we are not doing numbers 5 through 8. 5 through 9. We're not doing numbers 5 through 9, and there won't be any questions like 5 through 9 on your test. So let's go to number 4. So given the parallel lines, find the measure of the missing angles. Okay, so you guys tell me, based on this diagram, we're looking for X, Y, and Z. Do you see how to find any one of those, X, Y, or Z? No, you should be able to find some of them. Jonah? You got it. Do you guys see this 35? Isn't that a Z right there? So that means Z is 35. That's perfect. All right. Does anybody see anything else? Good. Why? Yep. We have another Z right here with the 50. Do you guys see that Z? That's the more obvious Z, actually. So Y is 50 degrees. And now the X is a little bit tricky. Are you guys ready? Do you all see this triangle right here? What does a triangle add to be all the angles? 180. So if I have 2 out of the 3 angles, can I find that last angle? So I'm going to add 35 and 50. And I'm going to get 85. And then I'm going to take 180 and subtract 85. This becomes 10, this becomes 7, but then I need to borrow again. So 10 minus 5 is 5, 17 minus 8 is 9. So we get X to be 95 degrees because all the angles in a triangle have to add to 180. Okay, same type of idea. So right now we have a bunch of different parallel lines. We could use any 2 to help us out. What do I mean when I say we could use any 2? For me to find A, I'm going to outline that A, and then I'm going to skip that middle line and I'm going to outline the 60 and connect them. And if I'm ignoring that middle line, don't I make a letter? Yeah, what letter do I make? A C. And what do the angles in the C have to add to be? 180. So for angle A, I'm going to do 180 minus 60, and we get 120. So I'm going to write the 120 in my diagram because that might help me get other angles also. Okay, let's keep going now. Now I'm going to go actually to angle C. I'm just jumping all over the place. I'm going to go to angle C. The reason I'm going to go to angle C, because I noticed the C and the 110, I can connect those. So I know if I could trace the 110 and I could trace the C, I could connect those and I can make a letter. What letter did I make there? Another C. And now C adds to 180. So I'm going to do 180 minus 110, and we get 70. Sure. So for 120, I traced the A. And then I'm like, okay, well, is there any angle that has a number that I can connect with the A? And the only angle that has a number that I can connect with is the 60. So when I trace the 60 and I trace the A and connect them, I made a C. And the angles in the C have to add up to 180. Yes.
Like you made a Z. Like
I made a C.
You made a C.
Mhm.
What if I like made a C, what if I did like here, like that, like to find this angle?
Yep,
And
absolutely. Yeah.
So like it doesn't matter.
No, I love what you did. That's perfect.
What could you say? Like 60 like they want to move it down, like I don't know how to explain it. Like
Oh, so you're looking at this F right here. So then you put the 60 here and then did the C. Yep, absolutely. That's just thinking outside the box, and I love it. There's so many different ways to get this, Jay. B is 110. How did you get the 110? You got it. Guys, so Jay right now is moving on to letter B, and he made a C with B and C, and he said the B has to be 110. And then what did you say for DJ? 70. How'd you get that? You're right. You got it. So then Jay made a Z with the D and the C and got the D to be 70. Absolutely perfect. I love it. Very good, guys. All right, almost done. And you should definitely expect like these harder type of problems that we're doing now to be on the test. They'll definitely be there. Okay, so now once again, we're trying to find X, Y, and Z. You guys lead me. I've been leading you all period. Even if you're wrong, just tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what you're playing around with. I will never judge. I'll only be proud that you tried. Stella.
like can't you make an F with like 140 and down and like with one where like Z is?
Okay, so the F is a little bit tricky, but it absolutely works. So if you make an F here,
Then can't you have the bottom in the like where they meet?
okay, so I'm gonna take you back a little bit. So you tried to make an F, and you're right. That is 140. But so we don't confuse everybody. If we stop the F a little bit short, what can we make there? A C. And what do we know about this armpit and this armpit? They have to add up to 180. So if the top armpit is 140, what will the bottom armpit have to be? Yes, you got it. So we're going to do 180 minus 140 and get 40. So this bottom armpit is 40, but that doesn't mean Z is 40. This whole armpit right here is 40, but isn't this top part 10? Which means what for angle Z? It has to be what Leilani said, 30 in order to add up to that 40. So that means our Z is 30.
Could you see like how you select it or no?
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that
Very good. So now Leilani just said, can the C be a little bit slanted? Absolutely. Do you guys see the Z right here, the C right here? So now the angles in the C again have to add up to 180. So we're going to do 180 minus 30 and get 150 for Y.
Yeah, I
But you're doing it a different way. And your way, the way your brain is working is perfect. Everybody can see it different ways. Now, the X can be very straightforward. Did anybody find a very straightforward way to find the X? No? Yes? Stella, what'd you do?
well, since we know that like 30 and 10 is 40, and we know like X, Z, and 10 is 180.
You're right, but that's not straightforward. You are so right, and your answer is perfect, but it's not straightforward. Leilani. You got it right here. Very straightforward. We made the Z. The angles in the Z have to be congruent. So what does that mean for X? It is 140. Now, Stella's been going and finding it more complicated ways, but it's also equally as perfect. I love all the different ways of seeing things. All right, letter D. Let's talk about all that's going on over here. So we're only going to use 2 parallel lines at a time. Let's focus on the left side, the one with just the one arrowhead on both lines. Finding X is pretty easy. Not Leilani or Stella, somebody else tell me, or Jack, somebody else tell me, using just these 2 lines, how can we find the X? So we're ignoring everything but those 2 lines and transversals. Okay. I see an F too. Here's our F. And we know in the F, are the angles congruent or they add up to 180? Congruent. So simple, easy peasy X is 60. Okay, now we're going to go find Y. Y is not so straightforward. Now to find Y, do you guys see, and I know this is a little bit tricky, but do you see how X and 50 and Y, all 3 of those together make that straight angle? X, 50, and Y. And we know a straight angle is 180. So I'm going to add X, 60, and 50 and get 110. And then I'm going to do 180 minus 110 and get 70 for Y. This was the trickiest part of the whole problem. And now, not Jay or Leilani or Stella or Jack. Somebody tell me, what can we do to find Z now that we know that Y is 70 using these highlighted blue parallel lines? Noah. You got it. So the Y and the Z make a Z, and we know a C adds up to 180. So we're going to do 180 minus 70, which is 110 degrees. All right, 2 more problems and we are done. Letter E. I not heard from today. Luciana, tell me anything that you see here. Anything at all. X might be the easiest one to start with. Y plus 45 equals what? Okay, so you're going for Y, and you chose the harder one, but that's good. So what Luciana did was she made an upside down F. Do you guys see this? And the angles in the armpits of the F have to be equal to each other. But the one armpit is not just Y, it's Y and 45 added together. So this means Y plus 45 has to equal 80. Subtract that 45 on both sides, and I'm going to get Y is equal to 35. So Y is 35. Yes. Congruent.
They're congruent.
They're congruent. Okay, so now that leaves us just for the X. And now there's so many different ways to find this X. Who thinks they see? Who thinks they know? Jack? You guys are both right. So Jack said the Z, which he's absolutely right. That's what I had initially saw in the beginning, which brings it to 80 degrees. And then Sebastian said vertical, which is also correct. But Sebastian, when it's vertical, it's not just vertical to the 45. It's vertical to the 45 plus 35, which is 80. All right, last problem for today. We ready? I need to solve for X and Y. There are no numbers here. There's no like 110 or 20 or anything. So you have to find the ones that have the same variable first. So you have to use the X plus 90 and the 6X. And these are a certain kind of angle. What kind of angle is the X plus 90 and the 6X? Alternate exterior. And we have to remember that alternate exterior are equal to each other. They're congruent. So that means 6X is equal to X plus 90. Now, our x's are on different sides, so I have to subtract the x to bring it to the other side. 6x minus 1x is a 5x equals 90. And then we divide by 5. And we are going to get that x is equal to, now if you can't do this in your head, no shame in that, do your long division. 5 goes into 9 1 times. 1 times 5 is 5. 9 minus 5 is 4. 5 goes into 48 times. So this is 18. So x is 18. I wasn't asking for 6x plus or x plus 90, just x. So x is 18. So now I'm going to plug in. I'm going to plug in to find this angle up here. So I have 18 plus 90, which is going to give me 108. So if this angle is 108, then this angle is 108. Any ideas on how to find the y? Good. Right here. Do you guys see this straight angle that I'm highlighting in yellow? So straight angle is 180 degrees. So we're going to do 180 minus 108. And we're going to get 10 minus 8 is 2, 7 minus 0 is 7, 1 minus 1 is 0. So that is 72 degrees. All right, so we are done. So this is absolutely everything you're going to be up against on the test. Tomorrow's review sheet looks very similar to this. So even if you get stuck in class, pull up the video, fast forward to a problem similar to it, and listen to what we did together.